Focus on yourself. A story of comparison, clarity, and the courage to run your own race. Chapter 1. Everybody Else's Life. Tolu Mensah checked his phone before his feet hit the floor every morning. Not for messages. Not for news. For them. Emeka had just closed a real estate deal. Chisholm got promoted again. Biodun was in Dubai, third time this year, posting sunsets from a rooftop pool with a caption that read, "Grateful. Blessed. Unstoppable." Tolu stared at the ceiling. He was 28. He had a decent job, a small apartment in Yaba, and a side business that was growing. Slowly, honestly, quietly. Nothing post-worthy. Nothing that made people stop scrolling. He got up, made tea, opened his laptop, stared at the business proposal he had been working on for 3 weeks. Then opened Instagram instead. 40 minutes later he closed it, chest tight, ambition replaced by a gray, heavy feeling he couldn't quite name. Not sadness exactly. Not anger. Something worse, inadequacy dressed as inspiration. He had spent 40 minutes watching other people live and done nothing with his own life. This was Tuesday. It was also Monday. It was most days. Brain mindset lesson. Comparison is consumption, not motivation. What Tolu experienced has a name. Social comparison theory. The human brain is wired to measure itself against others. It is a survival mechanism, ancient and automatic. But in the age of curated highlight reels, this mechanism is being weaponized against you daily. Every scroll is a comparison. Every like is a measurement. And unlike our ancestors who compared themselves to 10 people in their village, you are now comparing yourself to 10,000 people at their best moments simultaneously. No human mind was built for that. The result is not motivation. It is paralysis dressed as awareness. Chapter 2. The Mirror Conversation. It was Tolu's aunt, Auntie Remy, 61, retired headmistress, no social media, no filter, who said the thing that cracked him open. He had gone to visit her on a Sunday, complaining, listing everyone who was ahead of him, everyone doing more, moving faster, living louder. She listened the way only old women who have buried both dreams and disappointments truly can. Completely, without interruption, without rushing to fix. Then she said, "Tolu, when last did you sit with your own life, not theirs, and ask yourself honestly, what do I actually want?" He opened his mouth. Nothing came out. Not what looks good. Not what will impress people. Not what Emeka has or what Biodun posts. What do you want? For yourself. From yourself. He drove home and sat in his parked car for 23 minutes. He realized, slowly and with great discomfort, that he had spent so much time watching other people's races that he had completely forgotten he was supposed to be running his own. He didn't even know what his race looked like anymore. That night he did something he hadn't done in years. He turned his phone face down, opened a blank notebook, and wrote one question at the top of the page. What do I actually want? He wrote for 2 hours. Nobody saw it. Nobody liked it. Nobody shared it. It was the most important thing he had written in years. Brain mindset lesson. Clarity is the antidote to comparison. You cannot run your own race if you don't know where your finish line is. Comparison thrives in the absence of personal clarity. When you don't have a clear vision for your own life, you unconsciously borrow someone else's as a measuring stick. The moment you define, specifically, honestly, and personally, what success looks like for you, other people's timelines lose their power over you. Not because their lives become less impressive, but because you are finally too busy building yours to be distracted by theirs. Chapter 3. The Unfollow That Changed Everything. The next morning Tolu did 3 things before he opened his laptop. He unfollowed 47 accounts. Not out of bitterness, out of honesty. Every account that consistently left him feeling lesser, smaller, or behind, gone. He kept the ones that genuinely educated, challenged, or moved him. He removed the ones that only performed. Then he wrote his 3 non-negotiables for the year. Not goals, not resolutions, but deep personal commitments rooted in what he had written the night before. 1. Build the logistics platform to its first 50 clients. No shortcuts. 2. Read 1 book every 3 weeks, for his mind, not for content. 3. Stop measuring his Chapter 3 against someone else's Chapter 10. Then he put his phone in a drawer until noon. The first week was genuinely uncomfortable. His hands reached for the phone constantly. Phantom scrolling, the nervous tick of a man in withdrawal. The silence where the noise used to be felt strange and slightly accusatory. But by week 2, something unexpected happened. Ideas came back. Not borrowed ideas. Not inspired by someone else's post ideas. His own. Quiet, specific personal ideas that had apparently been waiting patiently in the back of his mind. Crowded out for months by the noise of everyone else's life. He filled 6 pages of his notebook in one sitting. He hadn't done that in over a year. Brain mindset lesson. Silence is where your real self lives. The most dangerous thing about constant comparison is not that it makes you feel behind. It is that it drowns out your own voice. Your instincts, your creativity, your specific and unrepeatable perspective on the world. All of it requires quiet to surface. Every hour spent consuming someone else's highlight reel is an hour stolen from your own inner dialogue. When Tolu unfollowed the noise, he didn't find emptiness. He found himself, still there, still full of ideas, still worth listening to. He had simply forgotten to. Chapter 4. Running his own race. 14 months later, Tolu's logistics platform had 61 clients. Not 600. Not viral. Not the subject of a Forbes feature or a TEDx talk. Just 61 real businesses. Small traders, local manufacturers, a women's cooperative in Abeokuta, whose supply chains worked better because of what he had quietly, stubbornly built. He had not been to Dubai. Emeka had closed 4 more real estate deals. Chisholm had been promoted again. Biodun's rooftop posts had given way to a podcast with 80,000 subscribers. Tolu knew this not from obsessive scrolling, but from the occasional unbothered glance of a man who had found his own lane and was moving in it. He genuinely celebrated them now. Not performatively. Genuinely. Because a man who knows where he is going is not threatened by where anyone else is headed. One evening his phone buzzed. A message from a number he didn't recognize. "Hi, I'm Saad. I found your platform through a client referral. I run a cooperative of 23 female farmers in Ogun State. We've been struggling with distribution for 2 years. Can we talk?" Tolu read the message twice. Then he set his phone down, looked out the window at the quiet Yaba Street below, and smiled the smile of a man who had stopped chasing someone else's finish line long enough to find his own starting line. He typed back, "I'd love that. Call me tomorrow morning." Brain mindset lesson. Your lane has its own rewards. The most powerful thing Tolu discovered was not that his path was better than anyone else's. It was that his path was his. And a path that is genuinely, specifically yours attracts the exact people, opportunities, and moments that were always meant for you. When you run someone else's race, you may win, but you will win the wrong prize. When you run your own, even second place feels like coming home. The takeaway. Tolu still has the notebook. The one with the question at the top. What do I actually want? He has filled it completely now, every page. On the last page, written on the night his platform hit its 61st client, is a single line. The life I stopped performing for is the one I actually want to live. You are not behind. You are not less. You are not running the wrong race at the wrong speed in the wrong direction. You are simply, perhaps, running someone else's race. Wearing someone else's shoes. Chasing someone else's finish line. And wondering why, no matter how fast you run, the gap never closes. It never closes because it was never yours to close. Put the phone down. Open the notebook. Ask the question. What do you actually want? Not what looks good. Not what photographs well. Not what will make people stop scrolling. What do you want? For yourself, from yourself, with the one specific and unrepeatable life you have been given. Find that answer. Guard it. Build toward it. Quietly, stubbornly, completely. Focus on yourself, because the most important race you will ever run is the one no one else can see. Stop measuring your Chapter 3 against someone else's Chapter 10. You are not behind. You are on a different book entirely. Know your race. Run it completely. Finish it yours.